Hello, my name is Mina Kang, and in this video I'll be showing you what I did for my NPCS creative writing discovery project called Sunny Side Up. My project was a creative writing book about a family in a future world where technological advancements have been made so that robots and AI are used in daily life and workplaces, showing an optimistic future. So why is this needed? I'm sure you know about how fast technology has been progressing. Things like ChatGPT and AI drawings are starting to be used, and technologies that we didn't know were possible are being developed. Some can accept this change easily while others cannot. The problem is that some people cannot accept this change because due to negative media presentation like in The Matrix, these technological advancements can be seen as bad, making thus people scared and rejecting the change that is being made. To overcome this problem, I made a book showing the positive ways these new technologies can be used, showing the benefits and an optimistic future. This was so that people can be aware of the benefits these advancements can bring to us and also accept these changes more easily. I chose high school students for the audience as when high schoolers like us become adults, they might actually be living in a world with so much more technological advancements than now. So I made this book to help them accept the changes more easily. Now I will be talking about what I did. First, I had to do research on AI and robots to find out how they can be used in real life and our daily lives. I watched videos and documentaries, read articles and books, and wrote on annotated bibliography to further help with the understanding of these topics. Through this process, I could learn about what technologies are being developed, like warehouse robots from Boston Dynamics, cooking robots from Mowgli Robotics, brain chips from Neuralink, and robot pets like Chip from Wowie. And of course, Siri and Bixby, ChatGPT from OpenAI, caregiver robots like Paro, and prosthetic limbs. For additional research and understanding of the topic, I also attended an event called the Strong Korea Forum. During the event, I was able to gain the opinions of people like Rodney Brooks from Robust AI and Kevin Blankspoor from Boston Dynamics. They are very influential individuals in the field. One example is warehouse robotics, which is from Boston Dynamics. Warehouse robotics involved robots that can help with the organization and transport of goods inside warehouses of delivery companies like Amazon. This will significantly benefit the industry as it will help make the work more efficient when collaborating with humans. The research process allowed me to learn more about real-life applications and how robots and technology can benefit our daily lives. After collecting information, I had to think about the actual product, the book. During this step, I brainstormed how I would put these technologies and applications into the storyline. I first decided on the format of the book. I decided to make the book a collection of vignettes inspired from The House on Mango Street. This meant that the book will be a collection of multiple episodes or snippets of the characters' lives from different times and settings. After, I decided on what each episode will be about. I brainstormed what kind of events the vignettes will be about, and decided on each episode's content and what benefits of technology each one would show. For example, the first one about cooking robots and the second one about robot pets and so on. This was also the stage where I did the character designs. I had to make them simple but inviting as it had to be appealing to the audience. Then I had to get to the actual writing and drawing. I wrote 6 chapters with illustrations on each and designed the front cover. During this process, I had to get feedback from others on the type of wording I used and the type of illustrations I made. Another thing was the diction that I used. I made sure to write in a less formal diction so it fits the audience of high schoolers. I also used a notebook or diary kind of aesthetic, inspired from the absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian, as I wanted it to look like a diary that the character wrote, using lines in handwriting, fonts, and post-its for illustrations. Now, what I learned in the process. For the project-specific skills, I learned how to use imagery and creative ways to use metaphors. The feedback interview with Mr. Rosenberg, our creative writing teacher, helped me learn this skill a lot. Based on his feedback, I was able to learn how to use more creative figurative language like the clouds were like a herd of sheep, rather than more boring figurative language that is seen everywhere, like his eyes were blue as the ocean. I also learned about design and art skills such as the principles of design and how to make a book cover. So for example, for the old book cover with the pink and white handwriting, it looks more like an illustration rather than an actual book cover. After the interview with Miss Goldberg, we decided that it was because it didn't have enough text and also the font was organic and handwritten rather than using an actual font. After looking at other book covers like The Inquisitor's Tale or The Phantom Tollbooth that had illustrations, we decided that I had to make the title more bolded and emphasize it using an actual font and add more text like such as the author's name, publisher, things like that. Doing the feedback interview and making revisions helped me learn a lot more about how to design an actual book cover so that it is appealing to the audience. I also learned about a new genre called Hope Punk, which is a type of genre that supports change in an optimistic way. I also learned about vignettes, which, as I mentioned before, which are like short episodes or snippets of creative writing. Now, what I learned in NPCS skills. So first, I had to learn about how to communicate with the audience. I had to consider the audience when making my work by making the diction fit the age level, so I didn't make it too formal because the audience was teenagers and high schoolers my age, and I also had to make sure that the illustrations were appealing and eye-catching and that the character designs were inviting and likable. I had to make revisions to the project depending on the feedback I got from my peers as they were my audience, and I had to make improvements depending on their feedback. I also had to use collaboration in the feedback interviews and talking to peers. This was usually used in making the revisions and getting feedback from others. Especially in the feedback interview, I had to talk to Mr. Rosenberg and Miss Goldberg to improve both my writing and my illustrations, such as the front book cover and the figurative language that I used. I was able to make revisions and improve my work based on the feedback. For critical thinking, it was mostly about researching and getting accurate information. I had to find evidence based on the research I did, and then come up with effective solutions based on that information. The last part is citizenship. Since we only had 2 to 3 weeks to work on the project and had a very tight time frame, I had to make sure that I was staying on task and doing the work I was supposed to get done. I had to set clear goals for myself, which was done by making the rubric, and I had to manage my time, which was done using the week 1 planner, and I also had to make sure that I was staying productive and doing enough work each day, which is what I use the process logs for. Using these goal setting and time management tools helped me stay on task throughout the NPCS time. That is the end of the video. Thank you for listening. Here's the QR code to the product if you want to take a look at the full book.